Welcome back to the show. Check out these headlines. We got a great one for you today. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. And boy, do we have some for you today, ladies and gentlemen. $2.55 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is up 1.6%. We see 66,000 plus for Bitcoin, 3,100 plus for Ethereum, and Tether market cap is 110 billion plus right now. 53 cents for XRP. It's up 1.9 on the 24. It's up 4.3 on the 7-day at the number 8 spot, ranging between 52 and 54 cents. We'll keep an eye on it. I did want to celebrate the fact that we did get that 54 cent. We're turning around. And remember, today is an important day, ladies and gentlemen, for the SEC versus Ripple case, as Ripple will be filing their response in the remedy-related phase. So keep an eye out for that as well. Chad Steingraber says right here, keep in mind the demand for Bitcoin spot ETFs are only going to increase as Hong Kong is about to launch trading. Remember, they just approved ETFs over there as well. So the supply per day from miners have been cut because the halving just took place for Bitcoin, reducing it from 900 Bitcoin per day to 450. Now, that inflow will rotate down into altcoins. I think that is right. Slick Rick says Bitcoin ETF demand up, miner supply down, time for altcoins to shine. I could see it coming together. And if I could stop hiccuping, that would be fantastic. Nevertheless, here we are right here. World Economic Forum study reveals 98% of central banks are eyeing central bank digital currencies, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very, very big deal. Point of no return. And what do we know out of those 98% of central banks that are pursuing CBDCs? We know that a G7 country like the UK will issue new legislation for stable coins as well as crypto staking, exchange and custody by June or July this year. So we're talking in just a couple months, ladies and gentlemen, is what we're talking about here. Pretty damn exciting, I say. Pretty exciting. And it could be bad news for Tether, as Bitfinex has had quite the commentary on what Tether is and isn't. So we will keep an eye on it, and we've talked a lot here about it on the channel as well. What will come of Tether? Will it be forced under prudential regulation and a regulatory framework, or will they unwind it and dissolve the company? I don't know the answer, but I know one thing. They could easily push the money and the volume, that $110 billion market cap, into USDC and what will be very soon a USD dollar stable coin on the XRP ledger and Ethereum network launched by Ripple as well. So keep an eye out on what's going to take place here. We still don't know fully how it'll be dealt with. But this is a reminder right here, and I want to give you just like 10 seconds of this, because you're going to find out that the US and the UK are about to work together on a stable coin. And we just reported to you that the UK is about to release in June or July stablecoin regulation. And we know here in the US, it is very likely that we see a stablecoin bill get done this year, according to the congressional officials on Capitol Hill. Take a listen to this.
Stable coins being issued by regulated entities. So I can't give you the names yet, but there's two projects we're working on, one in the UK and one in the US, working with banks that are regulated, who will be issuing stable coins, and the reserves will likely to be held at a central bank, in a central bank account. So very different from the algorithmic.
Yes, it is very different. That is using the financial system with central bank backing. That is super exciting, because that is where I believe the world has been pointed a long time now, and that is where we're going. Listen to what Ray Dalio says about the world will shift and be radically different in the next 5 years.
I have to pay attention to the implications of the great disruptions that are going to take place. Because the world will be radically different in 5 years. And it's going to go year by year, become radically different. Next elections, the debt situation, all of these things are going to change. And then with the new technologies, we're going to go, it's like going through a time warp. We're going to be in a different world, okay? And the disruptors will be disrupted. I have to pay attention to the implications of
the disruptors will be disrupted. And what that tells me is when the disruptor, look, Ripple's a disruptor, but they're a complement to the financial system in the way that they're disrupting with technology. But the disruptors will be disrupted. That tells me the only thing that's going to disrupt a disruptor, an innovator, is a regulator or a legislator. And that's what we need, that top-down approach. Look, this is a fantastic 11-minute clip. I can't give all of it to you, but I'm going to encourage you to follow Mikkel and to watch this clip. But I tell you, this really is fantastic here. He said, Daniel down here says, good to see you have a place to stay. Was worried because all the vids made in your car. Who said this wasn't my car? God bless Mikkel. I tell you, he could really take it from him out here, and I love it. Let's take a look at this clip right here. It starts at 4:27, and the whole clip is fantastic. So I'm just giving you a section of this. But XRP and nothing else is close. This is exactly how I'm seeing the market and where we are positioned right now. And I think Mikkel makes fantastic points. And I'm going to let this spin for a couple minutes. Take a listen here.
Institutions are going to remain dominant. The big institutions who hold all the value and hold all the assets are going to remain the dominant players in the future financial system.
Bingo.
I just think they're going to upgrade their rails. I think they're going to upgrade the way they hold the value, move the value, and transact. Bingo. So guys, what I'm looking for is a company helping these big institutions adopt the technology that I believe is going to be fundamental and critical. And that has been Ripple's strategy since the start. Ripple hasn't tried to do this grassroots movement thing. Ripple hasn't tried to make it so retail created a system and institutions would have to adopt it. Ripple is going straight to the biggest central banks, to the countries, to the institutions to say, hey, this is a technology we have created for you. We want you to adopt this. Guys, this is the strategy that I really think wins. This is the strategy that I believe gets mainstream adoption of cryptocurrency. And Ripple already has such a big head start in making this happen. I find it hard to believe a lot of the smaller projects, even if they have the technology, are going to be able to catch up. What we saw is that Ripple was created in 2012. In 2013, they were already meeting with the Federal Reserve. We have seen Ripple meeting with the IMF in 2018, meeting with the BIS in 2019. Guys, Ripple has connections to these powerful institutions, and these powerful institutions really create the network effects. These central banks plug into thousands of banks underneath them, and if a central bank adopts a technology, they can force a technology change on the institutions underneath them. These are how the most powerful network effects get created, and these institutions are extremely slow moving. So if they do make the switch to a network, they're not going to instantaneously pivot to another one unless they absolutely need to. That is why XRP's track record is critical. XRP has proven that throughout its time in history, it remains consistent, it remains up, it remains flawless, and that is going to be absolutely critical to these institutions continuing to use the XRP ledger as their system. Guys, what we are watching right now is the early stages of a brand new technology dominating a new sector.
Bingo.
The internet disrupted transportation with Uber. It made it so that you can get transportation on your phone. It disrupted messaging with the iPhone, calling, texting. We can now move information anywhere, pictures, share our lives on Facebook and Instagram. But one thing the internet really hasn't disrupted yet is the rails to our financial system. Yes, we have pretty little APIs we can plug into like Venmo to send money to each other, but the big institutions are still taking massive counterparty risk on the back end. There is no way to move value from point A to point B outside of cryptocurrencies right now, and that's why the big institutions like JP Morgan, American Express, Bank of America are all expressing massive interest in Ripple, the company. These institutions know that the players like Swift cannot catch up to what Ripple has created using the XRP ledger.
Bingo.
Cryptocurrencies offer a unique unique solution to the issues we face today. And that is why personally, I am hyper focused on what everything Ripple and XRP are doing. I thought this was such an important quote Brad Garlinghouse put out in his Fox interview he did the other day. He said, Ripple will dominate crypto infrastructure, which will be huge for XRP. Guys, I don't see a lot of cryptocurrency companies out there taking Ripple's approach.
That's exactly right. Listen, I wanted to celebrate Mikkel because, look, I know we aligned, but I just felt like he nailed it. He was on a stretch, and just his monologue here just kills it. And I wanted you to hear it because I like celebrating people in this community. And he certainly won. And you know what? He's going to be at XRP Las Vegas, which is 10 days away. What are you waiting for? Get your ticket. The price goes up in 3 days. So yeah, see how that happened? Get your ticket. And if you want a discount to the private dinner for Brad Garlinghouse, join the Freedom Zone because we got a 25% discount. You can have that, and it's also a tax-deductible write-off. How about that? Shout out to Mikkel Markets. You can meet him in person at XRP Las Vegas, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be remarkable. But to the point that he's making about the top-down approach, which I have talked about a lot here. We've heard David Schwartz talk about top-down, bottom-up. We're very close to that top-down. That's where we are. We're very close to that top-down. And what I believe Ripple have been doing that is so hard for everyone to see and get their mind wrapped around is to attach the infrastructure that they have been building to the repositories of the world, the largest repositories of the world. And who might that be? Banks and clearinghouses, ladies and gentlemen. That's who that is. Don't believe me? Listen to Brad when he says it. All right, let's play this clip and Brad Garlinghouse tell you himself right here.
Around everything we're doing.
That effect, right? That constantly
exactly.
goes.
I mean, ultimately, as you know, Ripple is really focused on how do we enable an internet of value? How do we make value move the way information moves today? And that's our big kind of multi-year, 10-year view of how the world will evolve. And it's really how do we dial that back and to make it tactical and real today and tomorrow. And I think if you want to enable an internet of value, you've got to connect the repositories of value.
Bingo.
And the repositories of value, as big as the Bitcoin value proposition is today, the banks own trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars of assets. So if we want to enable an internet of value, we've got to connect the banks and payment service providers and MSBs, and we're excited to have made a bunch of progress on that.
So how you
There you have it. And Brad's telling you right there, you got to connect all of these things. If you don't connect all of these things, you haven't tapped into nothing. And as grand as it is for Bitcoin to be what it is, and it is grand, over $1 trillion market cap. Let's give props where props are due, ladies and gentlemen. It is grand. But let's understand that it's a drop into the bucket compared to the trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars that are in the repositories that Ripple have been connecting to for more than a decade now. Well, this is a quick clip and a reminder right here of why a stable coin on the XRP ledger is a must and why a XRP token does not compete with it. As David Schwartz said in 2020, you need a neutral asset going in between CBDCs serving as a settlement asset across jurisdictions, accepted by all because everyone accepts that they can't get the whole world to use an asset they control. And so an asset nobody can control is better than one controlled by one of their geopolitical competitors. You can't say it any better than David Schwartz said it right there, I don't believe. And now it's time for us to go into the Freedom Zone, ladies and gentlemen. And boy, you're going to want to join us into the Freedom Zone. We're going to talk about weather control and medical tyranny and how real it actually is. All of this stuff seems like it's so conspiratorial. Really? Well, wait till you see what we have for you in the Freedom Zone, and a great way for you to support the channel for next to nothing, and also get that discount to have private dinner with Brad Garlinghouse, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to want it, and get your ticket to XRP Las Vegas. I'm telling you, it is going to be remarkable. When you really do think that 10 days from now, we are going to have all of these amazing people right here on stage discussing all the current things that are happening at the moment right now. When is the next time you're ever going to have the opportunity to be in the room with all of these people. That's how special a moment this is. And what they're going to share with you is going to be even more special than that moment, because this is that critical of a time in this space. 10 days away, ladies and gentlemen. Join the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of others that have already gotten their ticket, and come celebrate with us and empower yourself and get the information firsthand from the people that are out here pushing the frontier of this space forward every single day. We will see you at XRP Las Vegas, and until then, we'll catch you inside the Freedom Zone. Now, financial advice from me or anyone else, come on in. All right.